This video is on the reassembly of a Poseidon Jetstream second stage. This is part one of two. Part two will be the adjustment. This second stage is getting rebuilt because this valve insert was no longer sealing against the side of the regulator. And I purchased these regulators used, so it's high time to rebuild them. Video is specifically for Tony, as he needs to learn how to service his own regulators. So, we have the service manual here. We are going to be following it mostly, with a couple exceptions, most of them being here in the first part of this video. The main offense is not removing the mouthpiece. Just not going to do it at this time. We have inspected the diaphragm here. It looks okay, so we're going to reuse that. On the cap, you can see here, this button is fine. The backside, the spring, which is actually what presses on the diaphragm, is also fine. You can see a couple of the screws falling out. That's okay. Next set is to inspect the servo valve. The valve bar is straight and the spring is holding. If this is a problem, this can be fixed. You can remove by pressing down on this collar, and you can see a C-clip retainer. I'm not sure if the video is going to show that. You can just pop that out. This whole assembly will come out, and there is a washer on the back side of this which does the actual sealing of the valve, and this can be replaced, or it can be replaced, but it can also be flipped over. So that looks good. Switch here moves very definitively between positive and minus, so that's good. If it's a little sluggish, there are lube points in here where you can put some grease. So onward. Next step. So this is the main body of the regulator. These O-rings have already been put on and lubed according to the document. We've got this top part. This is the top of the housing. So we're going to take our lube, and I like to put a little bit of lube here on the threads. Just makes assembly a little bit easier. So we get a little bit of lube there, and we are going to insert this like so. You can see in your parts kit there's a little itty bitty orange piece of some sort of plastic. You can see that on the tip of my finger. This is from another parts kit. This goes in this hole right there, and this stops the locking screw from marring the inside of your barrel. My big hands don't make this easy, so we're going to take a 1.5 millimeter Allen key and put this screw in like so. Just a couple of threads because we are going to need to use this for our regulator adjustment, so make sure this is free spinning. Again, here the lube helps just to prevent binding. So 2 O-rings, a little bit of lube, we're good to go. The next part of this is the reason this regulator was getting rebuilt, and this is taking the valve insert and inserting it into the main body of the regulator. These are affectionately known as condoms, and it literally just goes straight in like so. This valve insert is what seals with your IP up against these holes in the regulator, and as you breathe, the pressure in here decreases, and this is what you breathe out of. You can see these holes do go around the whole side of the regulator, so this is why this is a non-directional, part of why this is a non-directional regulator. So the next step is to take this O-ring right here, insert it on the top right here. Ooh, I'm gonna grab the wrong one. Nope. Right the first time. O-ring goes in just like that. We're going to lube the threads here. Poseidon is very particular about lubing pretty much every thread on these regulators. And we're then going to screw this into the other half of the housing. Finger tight. At this point, you are supposed to put this into the jig with a valve housing tool to tighten it down. Most people I know don't have them, so hand tight is what we usually go by. So, next part is to go ahead and actually install the body into, or the guts into the body. You can see here there's an indexing slot on this regulator, and this coincides with an indexing slot on the bottom side. It's right here, right against the logo. This will only go in one way, so insert like that, and from here we will reassemble the top. Diaphragm goes on, top goes on, screws go in, and part 2 of this series will be how to tune this thing.